In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to monetize a faceless YouTube channel so fast it literally feels illegal. And just to show you that I know what I'm speaking about, here's one faceless YouTube channel that we literally monetized with just 2 videos. And then guys, I can show you so many of my own channels, but what does that really prove to you? So that's why here, just as an example, Maurice actually got his first channel monetized in under 13 days after he applied exactly what I will show you guys in this video. So first channel monetized in under 13 days, and then just 8 days later, to prove it's not luck, we actually monetized the second YouTube channel in the music niche. So this is even more difficult than a normal faceless YouTube channel. All right, now in most cases for you guys, you picked a niche, you uploaded consistently, you followed every tutorial and copied every strategy, and you did everything you were told to do, and still you got 0 impressions, 0 views, and that means no monetization for you. All right, now it's because almost nobody explains the one factor that actually determines how quickly a channel gets monetized. All right, and once you understand it, you'll look at YouTube completely different than what you are currently looking at YouTube right now. Now, just to show you some more results here, Chewy, who actually got his first channel monetized in 16 days. Now, before this, he has not once uploaded a faceless YouTube video to YouTube before. Same thing here, Daniel. He monetized his first ever YouTube channel in just 2 weeks. Then we have here Andrew actually got monetized with 3,000 subscribers in less than a month. Now I can go on and on and on like this, but you'll know exactly what these guys know after you've watched this exact video. Now for the people who don't know who I am, I'm Stefan, 24 years old, and currently make between $30,000 and $40,000 a month with my own faceless YouTube channels. And then here, just as an example, constantly starting new channels, constantly monetizing new faceless YouTube channels. I've made, $42,000 from just 2 videos that I've posted, scaled up a channel from 0 to $48,000 in just 30 days. As we can see right here, you guys can look at the dates and all of these things. And I've helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. For example, here, Scott, we got him monetized. Here, Matthew monetized 2 faceless YouTube channels in just 7 weeks after he starts working with me. Here, $24,000 a month for this student, $31,000 a month for Martin's, $12,000 a month for this student, and many, many more. If you are looking for the exact same kind of help that all of these guys are getting, check out the first link in the video description, book your call with me, and let's make it happen. Let's scale up your faceless YouTube channel. And yeah, make sure if you book a call that you are actually serious about YouTube. Now I planned out a quite big video for you guys, so make sure to take some time, sit down, watch this whole video, get a notepad out. Gonna be very valuable. All right, so first thing first, all right, before we can even start our faceless YouTube channel, we need to have an account and we need to understand the whole trust score thing. Okay, because without these 2 things we can't even start our channel. So there are different kind of YouTube accounts when it comes to YouTube. There are pre-monetized accounts, brand new accounts, aged accounts, and personal accounts. Pre-monetized accounts are accounts that are already in the YouTube partnership program. These I would absolutely not recommend. All right, please don't go for pre-monetized accounts. They cost a bunch of money, and in most cases, they're not good. Okay, then we have brand new accounts. They are pretty good, I like them. They're good at this current stage. Aged accounts are also good, not as good as they were back in the days, but they're still good to go. And then we have personal accounts, all right? If you have a personal account, an account with which you are currently maybe watching this video, so a personal account is just an account which you use to watch YouTube videos, these are the best accounts you can get. All right, these are the best accounts you can get. Here, you will have the biggest amount of trust, and YouTube is going to push your videos, trust me. But one thing to just note, all right, just because you have a good account doesn't mean that you're going to get monetized in 2 weeks, okay? So we'll cover all of that in this video. Now, when you're getting an aged account, you have to just know that account age does not matter. Accounts from 2006 aren't any stronger than a newer one. Anything before 2025 works about the same, so don't overpay for aged accounts just because of the year. So if you're going to get aged accounts, you can get accounts from 2023, 2024. You do not need to get an account from 2006. Okay, now we want to protect our channels from day one. All right, for if we make money, we want to be protected from step one. All right. And what we want to do is we want to use different email accounts for every single account. Then we want to use different AdSense accounts. Now you can actually go ahead and create different AdSense accounts by creating LLCs in the US. All right. For most people, this is like the easiest way to do it. You can just create LLCs. Per LLC, you can add one AdSense account. All right. So yes, I wouldn't run like 10 YouTube channels on one single AdSense account. That is pretty risky. Then we want to use different browsers and we want to use different Chrome profiles. And no, you do not need any proxies anti-detect also on. It's largely a myth for trust purposes, okay? Then we want to warm up our account. So we warm up our accounts to increase our trust score. Trust score is just how much does the platform actually trust our channel. And this is something we're going to see if YouTube is actually going to give us impressions or not, okay? Now, what accounts need to be warmed up? We need to warm up new accounts and we need to warm up aged accounts. Now, how do we actually warm up our accounts? We use it as a normal user. We watch 1 to 2 hours of content per day. We subscribe, comment, and like to different kind of YouTube videos. Very important here is again that we do not spam. Okay, if we're gonna spam, we can leave it in the first place. Okay, because we want to show YouTube that we are not a bot. All right, we're a real human behind the account, so do not spam. Do this for 1 week plus to lower the risk of a low trust score. Now, this does not work 100% of the time, but we want to do everything in our power to increase it and help us to actually get views and make sure that we have a good account. All right. Now, quick note, always have 1 to 2 channels warmed up and ready to go, because once we have a niche, we want to move. All right. Then how do we actually test if an account is good or not? So what we want to do is, and this is a very basic kind of thing we always need to do, and we see it more and more people do this, but we want to record a real 3 to 4 minute phone walk video. That can be a walk, not a phone walk video, but a phone video. That can be a walk, a drive, a room tour. Content really does not matter. Like, does not matter. Like, I literally film outside of this window, okay? So it does matter. So then you log into the fresh or even the purchased aged account and upload it. Check the impressions after 24 hours. So 0 to 50 impressions, that equals to a dead account. So discard that account, don't use it. Then 200 to 400 impressions is usable, good enough, usable, good enough, but not the best. And then 1,000 plus impressions is high trust score, ready to post your content. Now, keep in mind, all right, you will have to test a lot of accounts to get to 1,000 impressions, okay? Not every account is very good. You will see that. Once you start testing, you'll actually see how many accounts are bad. But yeah, so now you've got an account ready. The niche is the next problem. So let's find a niche that you can actually put on that account. All right. Now, niche research is one of these things where 99% of people actually fail. And the reason for that is because most people don't put in the effort they need to put into it. And I always say the work you put into before even starting a channel is going to determine if your channel wins or fails. Most people just go for health or motivation or luxury or even, finance. And that's because that's what many of the faceless YouTube automation people out there kind of speak about, like go into these niches. And the other thing is people, in most cases go into niches they can just randomly think about. And I always say the niches, like the best niches on YouTube are niches you can't just think about. These are niches you have to find, okay? So don't make the same mistake as everyone and jump into a random niche, all right? Just a little bit of mindset when it comes to niches. Like, you have to understand that niches are just opportunities. Don't overthink it and try to find the perfect niche, because in most cases you will not find the perfect niche. All right. I'll show you guys in a second how a good niche looks like. Then it will take time to find a good niche, and this is where consistency comes in. So I always recommend you guys to do like 1 to 2 hours a day of niche research. Most people will tell me that they don't have the time. Guys, like, just set your priorities right, and I promise you, you will have 1 hour a day at least to do niche research, okay? Then don't like give it time and do not rush it, because if you're gonna rush it, you're gonna end up the same way as you always do, not getting any views, okay? Treat it like a business and not a random YouTube channel. Like, you have to keep in mind that, we want to, let me explain it like this. Imagine, the niche you're going to start in is going to cost you $1 million. That's how I want you to do niche research, okay? Like, treat it like a business, not a random YouTube channel, okay? Now, something we have to kind of keep in mind when we start to do niche research and when we look at YouTube is that YouTube has supply and demand. And this is probably the most important part when it comes to YouTube automation, is actually seeing YouTube as a marketplace. YouTube is a marketplace of videos, all right? And just like any other market, YouTube has supply and it has demand, okay? Now, what does this actually mean? So demand is what the audience wants to watch, and supply is how much content is there already. And what we want to do is we want to find a gap between these two and fill that gap, okay? Then what normal YouTubers do, and I, by the way, did this for years and years. For the people who don't know who I am, I've actually started posting YouTube videos at the age of 12. So I had a personal brand. Took me 4 years to get that personal brand monetized. And then, until the age of 18, so 6 years, that's where I only reached the first 100,000 subscribers on my personal brand, right? And that is because personal brand YouTubers, they take years to build their personal brand, spend years building a connection with their audience, and it takes a lot of time and hard work to build demand around them. Now, luckily with YouTube automation, we skip this whole process. Instead, what we do is we look for a topic or niche that has a lot of demand, but no supply, okay? So if you think about it, like, it can't be that hard to actually get a bunch of views if all we literally have to do is find something people want to watch, but they can't watch it because there is nothing like it, right? And that's exactly what I'm going to show you now. And that's why niche research is so important, okay? Now, if we're looking for something like that, there's specific niche criteria. So number one, there are under 5 smaller channels creating content in that niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply. Then there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers, which is super important. There are no smaller channels failing in that specific niche. The niche is not older than 6 months. I can create better content than my competitors. Am I actually interested in this niche? Not a must, as long as you build a team that actually has interest in that niche. And then, is the niche monetizable? Super important, otherwise you're not going to make any money. And then, huge bonus if you can post long videos, because then you will have a higher RPM, right? Because you can actually place more ads on your videos. Now, very important is that this does not need to be 1000% with all niches you find. So you don't need to perfectionize it to actually start your first channel, all right? If it's like 80% good, just get started with the niche, all right? Now, tools I'd recommend you guys for niche research is Next Level. It's like 13 euros a month, and vidIQ, the free plan, is enough. I'll show you in a second how we use it. Is it a must to have them? Absolutely not, all right? They just save you a bunch of time. I'll link both of them in the video description. Now, the way we do niche research to actually find niches that fit this criteria and that can actually monetize pretty quickly, I use the dummy account, all right? A dummy account is basically a YouTube account that we only use for niche research. And you have to keep in mind that YouTube actually, the whole YouTube homepage updated and changed for our advantage. YouTube got extremely good at predicting what we want to watch, okay? And we can use this to our advantage to train the YouTube algorithm to only show us faceless niches on our YouTube home tab. Now, instead of me explaining all of this, let me show you how you can actually set it up yourself, because once your dummy account is set up, you can find endless niches with it. This is the craziest way to do niche research, okay? This here is my dummy account. As we can see, faceless, 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 all just faceless videos on my YouTube homepage. Everything is just faceless, right? If we look here, this is my dummy account. This is what it's called. And it's just faceless content all over here. We'll find like hundreds of channels that we didn't even know. Like, for example, this one. Okay, this one I knew. Let me actually look for a different one that I don't know yet. You'll see how quickly it goes, right? So let's say, for example, let's say this one is a smaller channel, not that big. But here's a channel that I didn't know, right? Not the perfect one, but it's a channel I didn't know, right? And YouTube is constantly pushing channels that I didn't even know to my YouTube homepage. Now, what I need you to do is, let me just open up an incognito. I want you to sign into an account right here, okay? Just name it research, niche research, whatever you want to. And then it's going to look like this. And here, you are now going to look up, like, for example, the biggest houses. No joke, this can be anything you are interested in, all right? If you want to go into a niche where you're actually interested in the content, like just search up that content, all right? Don't do the exact same thing as I don't care what I post videos about. So for me, I'll go very broad on my niche research account. Now, once you search this up, make sure that the videos you're going to click on are actually faceless. So this video is faceless, so we can click on it. Then we just go ahead and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and already go here to the search bar while that video is playing and click on the next video, right? Very important is, again, that we only click on faceless videos. Here's another channel. And we will see that YouTube is already starting to push small channels to us, all right? Even here in the suggested bar, YouTube will always push small channels as well. Here, okay, this one is a little bit bigger, but here we can see this is a smaller channel which YouTube pushed to us, right? And we want to continue this for quite a while. So don't do this like for 10 minutes or something. I'll just do it very quickly now because I don't want to kind of drag this video into like 10 hours. But let's go to my YouTube homepage and let me show you. So here we have a faceless channel. Here, faceless. Let's see. So not too many faceless, but we can already see a bunch of faceless channels on the YouTube homepage just from doing it like for 5 minutes, okay? Now, once you've done it, like the cool thing where we can use next left just as an example, because once we've done that, we're actually going to go to our YouTube homepage and look for small channels. You see here like 7 subscribers and YouTube is pushing it to me. But we're going to go to our YouTube homepage and look at the subscriber tab, right? And the cool thing is this is actually what Next Level gives us. So it shows us the subscribers without us needing to click on the video. So here we can see 7,000 subscribers. We can click on this video. We didn't even know this channel. Then we can use vidIQ to very quickly see like, okay, this channel is getting 800,000 views in the last 7 days. And we can look at the videos, you know, we can go here to analytics and click it like, let me show you. We can see the RPM, we can see all of these things, which is quite cool. And that's why we use these tools. Now, again, this is not needed. Like you do not need these tools, but they are super helpful. Okay. So this is loading up. Like I said, I'll link it in the video description for you guys. We can look at the similar channels. Like Next Level will literally look for similar channels for us that will do all of these things to make our niche research process as simple and as fast as just possible. Okay. I know, take some time to load now, but here we can see $2 RPM. So this channel is doing roughly $2,500. I think it's making more because like in the last, 7 days, it did 840,000 views. Sometimes these tools take a little bit of time to update, all right? But now we know how to actually find niches. Now, once we have that tab set up, I want you guys to always do niche research with something in mind, all right? We like to create new niches using the niche transfer method. So instead of blindly copying something everyone is doing, we use the niche transfer method to literally 1000x our results. This is essentially taking any proven concepts and moving them to different markets on YouTube. And this can be anything, all right? The title, the thumbnail style, the video style, anything that is working in a specific niche, we take it and we move it to a different space. So for example, here, Medieval Times Discovered, this channel is posting videos on medieval times, medieval people, how did they live? Worked very well. Then this channel here came, used the exact same style of content and moved it over to a completely different group of people. With that, also has a completely different audience, and he did it for caveman. This channel here for pirates. This channel here for like homeless people, right? And that's why all of these channels actually blew up, because they took something that is already working, all right, as we can see here, and moved it over to a space where they have absolutely no competition. This is these days also known as niche bending, all right? I just call it niche transfer method. It's just the simplest way to call it, all right? Now, once we have the niche, that's actually where we need a content creation team. Now, I would highly recommend you guys, because we need speed, right? Once we have a niche, we need to get posting very quickly, because person A is posting very quickly. Person B is then, after only finding the niche, only starting to build the content, person A will always beat. Speed always beats anything, okay? Speed will always beat perfection, okay? So we need a content creation team, and this is something you can go ahead and start building right now already. So we have three kind of options when it comes to content creation. So we can either do it ourselves, we can do the hybrid method where we do some and freelancers do some, and then we can also fully outsource it if we want to, okay? Now, if we do it ourselves, we basically have no cost, 100% profit margin, we learn new skills, and we have full control over the process. The disadvantages are, this is not very scalable, it's extremely time consuming, learning takes a bunch of time, and without you, you don't make any money. Okay, so doing it yourself is cool if you have more time than money. Okay, then we have the hybrid method. That this is basically where you yourself do some work and freelancers do some work. The advantages are this is low cost, right? You do what you enjoy and you still have more, like you still have a bunch of control over your channel. The disadvantages are this is only partially scalable because you have to keep in mind that, you are also doing a lot of the work, right? So only partially scalable, very time consuming. Some capital is actually required. And without you, there's no income. Okay. So if you fall away or you get sick, there's no income. Now, if you fully outsource, and by the way, it's completely fine to start like this. All right. If you're starting out, and not just if you're starting out, but no matter how you create the content, as long as the content gets created, that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter how the content gets created, all right? So don't let the do-it-yourself hold you back. Because if we look at Maurice, he did everything himself, right? And he monetized his first channel in 13 days and the second one in 8 days later, okay? Then if we want to fully outsource it, that's going to be at like $300 to $500 a month, okay? Now, when you fully outsource, the advantages are it's not very time consuming, extremely scalable, still over 80% profit margin. You have time freedom, you work with experienced freelancers, and without you still have an income. Okay, because the freelancers do the work for you. Now, the disadvantages are this requires some initial capital, as I've said right here. Okay, now, guys, the cool thing is whenever someone works one-on-one with me, they actually get access to a bunch of freelancers that we pre-qualified, pre-negotiated, all of these things. So they have speed, right? They have speed. So once they found a niche, they can immediately start working on their channel. If you want access to something like that as well, by the way, we pick the niche with you guys, all of these things to make sure that you're going to the right direction from the start on, and don't, have these whole trial and error kind of waste months and months and months and stuff like that. Check out the first link in the video description. We do everything with you. What means I do everything with you, okay? To make sure that you actually get to where you want to be. Check out the first link in the video description, book your call with me, all right? Now, once we have the content, I follow this exact process with every single niche I get into to avoid spending money on videos that will never ever work. So what we do is we do niche research, then we choose an account, which you guys already know how to choose an account. Then we are actually not going to do 5 to 10 video topics, but we're going to do 15 videos. All right, we need 15 video topics. Now, these may not just be random video topics. You actually need to learn how to choose good video topics. Okay, I have multiple videos on my channel on that. But you need to learn how to choose video topics. By the way, if we're working one-on-one together, I help you to choose video topics. We do that together for the first few videos. All right, so check out the first link in the video description. But yeah, once you have your video topics, we're gonna write the script with ChatGPT, Claude, whatever kind of AI you want to use. The most important thing is just speed, right? It doesn't matter which one you use, but we need speed, and that's why we write it with AI. Okay, then VoiceOver 11 Labs, completely up to you. You can also use other softwares. For the editor, we're gonna use a freelancer. Now, we're looking at like $15 a video when we are testing for, testing our channels, all right, for the first 15 videos. For the thumbnail, we can do it ourselves, or we can use a freelancer, or we can also use AI. AI is a massive game changer when it comes to thumbnails. It's actually insane. ChatGPT got really good at creating thumbnails, okay? Then we need to make sure that our video length is 1.5 times longer than our competitor video. Very simple. YouTube will always push the video that keeps a person on the platform for the longest period of time. So it's not about average percentage viewed, right? You can have an 80% average percentage viewed. If your video is 10 minutes, that's 8 minutes watched. If someone else, right, has a 20-minute video and their average video duration is 50%, that's 10 minutes, even though the percentage is lower than, even if the percentage is where yours is higher than theirs, their video is still going to get pushed because they kept someone on YouTube for 2 minutes longer than you did. All right. So make sure your videos are longer. For the thumbnail and the title, make sure to not reinvent the wheel and do something that has already been proven to work before. Okay. YouTube is not difficult, especially if we don't reinvent the wheel. Okay. Now, once we have all of that ready, we actually get into the posting phase. So as I said, like we post 15 videos, and 15 videos should be enough for us to know if the niche can work or it won't work, right? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to post all 15 videos, and do not message me that you're not getting any views if you not even posted 15 videos yet. All right. So after 15 videos, in most cases, you will get views if you have a good niche, right? Can also happen after the second video, but we want to post at least 15 videos. Now, once we have 15 videos posted and the channel actually started getting views, that's where we actually continue to post videos on the channel. If we do not get 15, if we do not blow up on the channel, then we do not continue to post videos on that channel. And we need to then understand, why did the channel fail? And that can be the niche, the video topics, the packaging, the video length, or a bad channel. All right. Now, in case of the channel actually failing, we want to go ahead and we want to study, why did that channel fail, right? So we want to know exactly, why did a channel fail? Now, once we understand why the channel failed, that's then where we actually go back to niche research and try to fix those mistakes and run through this test again. And I promise you, if you do this enough, you will find channels that blow up very quickly. And after you've failed a few times, you will also understand exactly what not to do in order to fail. Okay. This is something, and I always say, like, everyone has kind of their own learning curve, but this is something everyone has to go through. Okay. Now, once we actually get a channel monetized, here are some bonus things how to increase your RPM. We want to turn on sensitive ad categories. So settings, then ad categories, then sensitive categories, and unblock alcohol and gambling ads. Then post 50-minute plus videos, longer videos, let YouTube place more ads, and that means a higher RPM, so you make more money per 1,000 views. Then next level ad placement, use next level to auto place an ad every 10 seconds. Not all get served, but it maximizes what does without wrecking watch time. Okay. So guys, I hope you understand now the whole process. It took me quite a while. Video is 26 minutes, I see now. So guys, if you have any questions, if you don't want to kind of do the trial and error way anymore, then check out the first link in the video description. Let's, scale your channel to here, $14,000 a month, or even here, monetize in 20 days, here, 2 consecutive $1,000 days, $30,000 a month. Guys, check out the first link in the video description. Let me help you scale up your faceless YouTube channel. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.